The best Christmas present in the world, part 1.
Good morning, children. This is Mansi, your teacher for subject English. I'm ready with the first chapter of class 8th from subject English, that is the best Christmas present in the world. So before diving into the explanation of this story, I would like to tell you about the backdrop of the story. This story was written during World War I. World War I, that is also known as Great War, which began in 28 July 1914 and lasted till 11 November 1918. It was fought between Germany and Britain. So what happens in this chapter is, in present, the author of the story, Michael Morpurgo, he buys a roll-top desk. He buys that roll-top desk in a very less amount. And why it came in a very less amount? Because it was in its very bad condition. It was in a drastic condition. So he wanted to buy that old roll-top desk and he wanted to repair that in order to use that. Okay. So while repairing, he could see that there was a small drawer, okay, and inside the drawer he finds a letter. In that letter, he could see that a British Army general has experienced something very amazing before, and he is expressing this in this letter. And this letter was written by the British Army general named Jim Macpherson, okay, Mr. Jim Macpherson, to his beloved wife, Mrs. Jim Macpherson, or also she is known as Mrs. Coney. So without delay, let's go to the explanation of this chapter. Okay. I spotted it in a junk shop in Bridport, a roll-top desk. The man said it was early 19th century and oak. I had wanted one, but they were far too expensive. This one was in a bad condition. The roll top in several pieces. One leg clumsily mended, scorch marks all down one side. So the author of this chapter, Michael Morpurgo, he was in want of a roll top desk. Roll top desk is a kind of desk which has a folded top. That means the top of the desk can be folded. He wanted one, but it was too expensive. That's why he went to a garage in Bridport and he gets to find a very old one. Okay, it was in a very bad condition because the roll top was in several pieces. The legs of the roll top desk was very loosely mended and several scorch marks, that means burnt marks, were also there on the sides of the desk. It was going for very little money. I thought I could restore it. It would be a risk, a challenge, but I had to have it. So that particular one, that broken roll top desk, it was going for a very little money. So he wanted to buy it in a little amount of money and he wanted to restore it. That means he wanted to repair it. Okay. So it was a kind of risk or a challenge to restore it or to repair it, such a roll top desk which was in its drastic condition. But I had to have it. I paid the man and brought it back to my workroom at the back of the garage. I began work on it on Christmas Eve. And on the Christmas day, he started working on the roll-top desk. He started repairing the roll-top desk. I removed the roll-top completely and pulled out the drawers. The veneer had lifted almost everywhere. So while working on the roll-top, he completely pulled out the drawers from the desk and then he saw that the veneer means a plastic thin covering, as we use that as a kind of decoration on wood or on furnitures. So the veneer was almost lifted from everywhere on the desk. It looked like water damage to me. Both fire and water had clearly taken their toll on this desk. Because of fire and water, the desk was completely damaged. The last drawer was stuck fast. I tried all I could to ease it out gently. In the end, I used brute force. So then what happened? The last drawer, it was stuck there. So he finally applied his brute force, that means effort, his physical strength. He tried to apply his great effort to pull it out, to pull the last drawer from the desk. I struck it sharply with the side of my fist, and the drawer flew open to reveal a shallow space underneath, a secret drawer. Then, after giving a brute force, finally the drawer flew open, and there was a small space underneath, and it was looking like as if it is a secret drawer. There was something in there. I reached in and took out a small black tin box, and the author could see that there was something inside the small space, and it was a black colored small tin box. Sellotaped to the top of it was a piece of lined note paper, and written on it in shaky handwriting, Jim's last letter, received January 25, 1915. So on the tin box there was a piece of paper sellotaped, and it was written that Jim's last letter, received January 25, 1915. To be buried with me when the time comes. So beautifully on the paper it was also written that this letter is to be buried with me when the time comes. That means if I die, then this letter is to be buried with me. I knew as I did it that it was wrong of me to open the box, but curiosity got the better of my scruples. It usually does. So as it was written that this letter is to be buried with me, that means it should not be opened and read by anybody others unless and until it is the same person to whom the letter was addressed. Till now we don't know to whom this letter was written. But on the letter it was clearly written that it is to be buried with me. That means only that person can see the letter and that person has the right to read the letter. But our author is a third person. He doesn't have any right to read it. But there was a great curiosity in his mind to open the letter and to read it. What was there in it? What Mr. Jim has written in it. So his curiosity wins and he was about to open the letter. And let's see what is written there. Inside the box there was an envelope. The address read, Mrs. Jim McPherson, 12 Copper Beeches, Bridport, Dorset. I took out the letter and unfolded it. It was written in pencil and dated at the top, December 26, 1914. So finally he opens the letter with enthusiasm, with curiosity, and he could see that the address of the person who is going to get the letter is Mrs. Jim McPherson. Mrs. Jim McPherson obviously is the wife of Mr. Jim McPherson, and her address was 12, house number 12, Copper Beeches, Bridport, Dorset. And on the top it was written the date. The date was December 26, 1914, and everything, the content of the letter was written in pencil. So this was the first part of the chapter. I'll be dealing with the second part soon. Thank you.